So can you offer the jury any information about where this gun was in relationship to Mr. McIver at the time of the discharge?
If he is seated, as everyone has demonstrated, Mr. Knox, Mr. Dustin, and so forth, and myself.
Before you get into that assumption.
He's got a right to answer the question as he sees appropriate. You can't cut him off if you don't like the answer.
Okay, no need to get vulgar with it, Mr. Harvey. Take a seat.
What a day in the Fulton County Courthouse. The attorneys going at it as the defense rests an accused murderer. Tex McIver decides to not take the stand in his own defense. Earlier tonight, my legal dream team, defense attorney Meg Strickler and Emory law professor and trial attorney Randy Kessler, were here to break down all the big moments in court.
Yeah, the place where you say the gun could be, where you showed us the demonstrative, where the gun could be along your thigh. How long is your thigh?
Haven't measured my thigh recently.
Haven't measured your thigh.
Prosecutor Clint Rucker was animated, yelling, arguing with the defense expert.
You said it's the reason why you can come in here and tell this jury that he couldn't have done exactly what Mr. Knox said he did. It's more than just a little factor, isn't it?
Who wins that battle?
By doing that, it shows that the defense is getting to him, which means he's losing the case.
Clint Rucker fell into the category of, if you're not going to convince me, maybe if I just talk a little louder and louder and louder. That argument never wins.
So he can't really, he's really going to force the issue.
The defense crime scene experts said the prosecution theory is impossible.
Trying to put that gun down here and keep that orientation, once again, you're going to have to, you would be in a very convoluted position.
Will the jury buy it?
He hedged on whole other issues, so that made it so the prosecution wins, not the defense.
I don't know why they're putting their eggs in that basket. They don't have to prove that the prosecution's argument or the defense's argument.
The defense expert in the chair with the gun.
You said he could have done it with either hand. Isn't that what you said?
That's exactly what I said.
Okay, so I didn't say it. You said it.
You brought the left hand into play. I'm simply telling you, no one can exclude the left hand.
Okay, that's fine.
Is that a good moment for the prosecution or the defense?
It's a good moment for the prosecution because it's showing how it occurred. He's sitting there in the chair once again, just like you saw in the defense opening argument.
It's always bad to have somebody looking like a murderer, but the witness was very good for the defense. He held his own against this very tough and seasoned prosecutor.
The defense rested. Did they raise a reasonable doubt?
Did they raise a reasonable doubt for all charges? No.
The defense doesn't have to raise a reasonable doubt. The prosecution has to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt.
You also have an absolute right not to testify. Do you understand that? I do.
Tex McIver chose not to testify.
Do you choose to testify in your trial? No.
What will the jury think?
They've already heard from him. They already know all about him.
They're going to say, good for him. He finally followed his lawyer's advice.
Who had a better day, prosecution or defense?
The defense had a better day. Why? Because they were able to rest on a Friday evening, on Friday the 13th. I mean, that's gold.
Defense. The prosecution ran out of things to do, and now the defense got to have the last word before the long weekend where the jury's going to go home and think about it.
You can ask me and my legal dream team about the trial live every weeknight, 7:30. We'll answer your questions on our 11 Alive Facebook page as we get ready for closing arguments next week. You can get caught up on all the big developments on our special section of 11alive.com/Tex-McIver-Trial.